sat in his leather seat, right? So all we can do is clean it up. You understand? Do the proper things. That's all we can do. We ain't going to throw it away. Go ahead and read.
And whomsoever he toucheth that hath the issue, and hath not rinsed his hands in water, he shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening.
Go ahead.
And the vessel of earth that he toucheth with which hath the issue shall be broken, and every vessel of wood shall be rinsed in water.
You see that? So if you had a clay glass, the Lord said, break it. So the Lord is serious about this, man. He's very serious. That is why we have to teach this. Go ahead and read that.
13. And when he that hath an issue is cleansed of his issue, then he shall number to himself 7 days for his cleaning, and wash his clothes, and bathe his flesh in running water, and shall be clean.
So after you got over this issue, you had to wash yourself up, and you were unclean 7 days more. And then you can come on in the house. But all during that uncleanness time, you had to be away. But back in those days, the Lord accommodated us for those things, because the Lord gave us everything we needed to keep this law. Everything. Because we was living like kings. We had everything we needed. 2, 3 houses. Okay, this the unclean house. You stay in there for now. Because we're going to look at this woman thing. And she had to be out of the house too. Skip on down to verse 16 and read.
And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water, and be unclean until the evening.
In other words, that brother, if the brother have sexual intercourse and his semen come out, he's unclean till evening. It's not the same kind of uncleanness as this issue, though. It's a different kind of issue. Go ahead and read.
And every garment and every skin whereon his is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water, and be unclean until the evening.
So everywhere it fell at, you just got to wash it, and it be unclean to evening. Go ahead and read.
The woman also with whom man shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water, and be unclean until the evening.
And the woman that he done laid with, she'll be unclean until evening. But you notice he didn't say whatever they sit on and whatever they lie on. No. Because this is going to happen probably more than 3-4 times a week for some people. But most brothers know it to be a while for all us.
Yes, sir.
Keep reading, though.
And if a woman hath an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days, and whosoever toucheth her shall be unclean until the evening.
Now we're talking about the young lady's menstrual. Now, when she come on her flowers, she had to be separated. This is her time of separation. So she had to be put apart for 7 days. I don't care how many days she was on this menstrual. 1, 2 days. She is still unclean 7 days. That's right. Go ahead and read.
And everything that she lieth upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean.
The same thing that applied to the brother when he had a bad issue. It applies to us. She's going through the same thing. That is why the Lord accommodated us for those things. But now all we can do is the best that we can. That's all. Because if a brother got $3 in a wife, shoot, he can't get around touching them, and every day he gonna be unclean. Mm-hmm. If they get on their menstrual different times of the month, one week, the other one next week, and the other one the following week. But you do the best you can. Go ahead and read.
21. And whosoever toucheth her bed shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening.
Go ahead.
And whosoever toucheth anything that she set upon shall wash his clothes, and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening.
Go ahead.
And if it be on her bed, or on anything whereon she sitteth, when he toucheth it, he shall be unclean until the evening.
And that is why we had to kind of modify. We just asked that the individual that's unclean, that the uncleanness come up, we ask them to stay away from the class, during this time. Stay away from the class because you are unclean. We ain't got big houses, big mansions. We don't have a nice guest house or nothing to get away. Some people could accommodate these things, but most of us, especially Israel, we can't do these. Because all of us, sometimes we got 6, 7 people in a 1-bedroom apartment. How we gonna get around that? So all we can do is the best we can. Go ahead and read.
24. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon she lieth shall be unclean.
Now, if a brother's having being with his wife, and they so happen to be laying down, and her flowers come down, he's unclean 7 days. It didn't say he go into while she's on the flower. It just so happened if she come down. Because if you go into a woman while she's on the flower, that's an abomination. That'll get you cut off. Go ahead and read.
And if a woman have an issue of her blood many days out of the time of her separation, or if it run beyond the time of her separation, all the days of the issue of her uncleanness shall be as the days of her separation. She shall be unclean.
Now, if she go past 7 days, she's still going to be unclean 7 days. Go ahead and read.
Every bed whereon she lieth all the days of her issue shall be unto her as the bed of her separation.
As long as you on that menstrual, you're gonna be separated from her. You're gonna be apart from everybody else. Go ahead and read.
And whatsoever she sitteth upon shall be unclean, as the uncleanness of her separation.
Go ahead.
And whosoever toucheth those things shall be unclean, and shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water, and be unclean until the evening.
And you couldn't even touch. See this? You see this? The Lord, He want to separate you from all this, and it's a reason for that. But like I said earlier, we had to modify kind of because hey, it's hard for us to get around this. So we do the best we can to show the Lord that hey, we trying to do this thing, and if we were able to do it to the T, hey, we would do it. We got to put in a good showing, letting the Lord know, hey, we trying, Father. We are trying because we know your cleanliness law is good. Because we're going to show you all in the New Testament, they saying the same thing. That's right now. Go ahead and read some more.
28. But if she be cleansed of her issue, then she shall number to herself 7 days, and after that she shall be clean.
Okay, she go 8 days. She done went over the time allotted to her to go. 7 days, you go 8, now you got to wait 7 more days. And then you will be clean. But this is the reason why you had to be separated. Skip on down to verse 31 and read that.
Thus shall ye separate the children of Israel from their uncleanness, that they die not in their uncleanness when they defile my tabernacle that is among them.
You see that? The Lord do not want you coming in here unclean. You understand that? That is why we teach. So you won't defile the temple of God. Lord don't want you here. That is why we got the internet set up. You unclean, stay at home. You are keeping the commandment of God. That's right. If you don't got an internet, we'll give you a CD next week if so you didn't miss nothing. Free. You understand? Because we trying to keep this thing. We trying to show the Lord we trying to do this. Because we understand His cleanliness law is good. Let's look at it some more. Let's go to Numbers. Let's go to Numbers 19. Numbers 19. Numbers 19, and we're going to pick it up. Numbers 19, and we're going to pick it up at verse 11. 19 and 11. 19 and 11. Dealing with dead bodies now. Because, you might notice when Daniel do a funeral, he never goes to the graveyard. He commit the body at the podium. And there's a reason why for that. And you also notice other brothers don't go either. Not unless it's their immediate family, But no, and there's a reason why he do not go to the graveyard. 19 and 11. Go ahead and read.
He that toucheth the dead body of any man shall be unclean 7 days.
You understand that? If you touch a dead body, you are unclean 7 days. That is why, when I go to a funeral, I don't touch nobody. Hey, I see them, but most of the time I don't even go look at the body. I try to have the good memories in them. I don't want to see them laying there. But I don't touch the dead body because you will be unclean 7 days. Go ahead and read.
12. He shall purify himself with it on the 3rd day.
Because, the Lord had them have a red heifer. They had to sacrifice this red heifer, and they had to get all the ashes and carry it outside the camp and get water and make a purifying water. Because after you touch the dead body, you had to have this water of separation put on you. But we ain't dealing with that because that's dealing with offering. Skip on down to verse 13 and read.
Whosoever toucheth the dead body of any man that he is dead, and purifieth himself not himself, defileth the tabernacle of the Lord, and that soul shall be cut off from Israel.
Because when you didn't put this purifying water on you, you defiled the temple. So you couldn't come into the temple. But keep reading.
Because the water of separation was not sprinkled upon him, he shall be unclean. His uncleanness is yet upon him.
And because you didn't get that water on you, that uncleanness on you still. So you better found that priest and got that water on you. Okay. But now we don't do that. That's right. All we got to do is just keep paying our water bill. We straight. Keep reading though.
14. This is the law, wherein a man dieth in a tent. All that come into the tent and all that is in the tent shall be unclean 7 days.
Like if a brother or a sister die inside a hospital room, and you go in there while they did, you unclean 7 days. That's the way it is. When you go in a room and a dead body is in there, in that room where they died at, I ain't talking about the funeral, I'm talking about where they died at. It's a difference. That's right. Not where the dead body got sent, it's where they died at. You go in there while they in there, you unclean 7 days. Go ahead and read.
15. And every open vessel which hath no covering bound upon it is unclean.
Go ahead.
And whosoever toucheth one that is slain with a sword in the open fields, or a dead body, or a bone of a man, or a grave, shall be unclean 7 days.
And that is why Daniel and any other brothers don't go to the graveyard. Because you're going to step on somebody's grave while you're there. Mm-hmm. That's right. Because we don't want to be unclean 7 days. You understand what I'm saying? Skip on down to verse 22 and read.
And whatsoever the unclean person toucheth shall be unclean.
And if somebody touched a dead body and they touch you, you unclean. Until when? Until evening. Go ahead and read that.
And the soul that toucheth it shall be unclean until evening.
And that is what's happened. So that is why, because you know, certain commandments you can't keep if you touch a dead body. You understand what I'm saying? So the Lord don't want you dealing with dead bodies if you don't have to. Because there are certain commandments you cannot keep when you touch a dead body. And we're going to show you. Let's show you now. Let's go to Numbers 9. Let's go to Numbers 9. And you're going to tell me this cleanliness law is no good? Now we're going to look at the Passover. And you have to take this Passover, sisters and brothers. You have to. The Lord instituted this. You got to. He implemented this. And the way you take the Passover today is by eating the bread and drinking the wine. In other words, drinking and eating Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to take the Passover. But you cannot touch no dead body, be unclean of a dead body, and take the Passover. You can't. And if you have, you are in trouble. And I hope you did it out of ignorance. Numbers 9 and 1. Numbers 9 and 1. Go ahead and read.
And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the 2nd year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season.
Because there's an appointed season to keep this Passover. It's on the 14th day of the first month, not every third Sunday. One time a year. Jesus died one time. That's right. That is why you take it annually. One time. Go ahead and read.
In the 14th day of this month at even, ye shall keep it in his appointed season, according to all the rites of it, and according to all the ceremonies thereof.
Go ahead.
Shall ye keep it. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover. And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at even in the wilderness of Sinai.
Go ahead.
According to all that the Lord commanded Moses, so did the children of Israel.
Now go ahead and read this. Go ahead.
And there were certain men who were defiled by the dead body of a man, that they could not keep the Passover on that day.
Why couldn't they keep the Passover? Because they was defiled by a dead body. They had came in contact with a dead body in some shape, form, or fashion. So they couldn't keep the Passover. You don't want to defile yourself. See, there's certain commandments you cannot keep when you defile yourself
sir.
with a dead body. So we know this thing is good. Go ahead and read.